What's up, Dance Fam? We are back again with another episode. Did you guys both salute?
No, I just...
Oh,
He did a piece. I did a salute.
gotcha. We're back again with another episode of the session. This time to review Roller Dance Season 3, Episode 12. Final episode of the season.
Yes, sir.
Somehow they managed to do only 12 episodes.
Wow.
As opposed to like the 50.
We were still
Did the whole summer of episodes.
prelims, I think,
Yeah.
like through week 14, I think.
Yeah, at this point, it's like just starting the duels last year.
Maybe.
But anyway,
Yeah.
we are in, yes, like we said, it's the Roller Dance Season 3 finals. So, final episode, all good stuff. Obviously, all 5 of these contestants, groups, whatever, are meant to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Because they worked hard to get here.
Mhm.
So props to all of them, and props for everyone who even made it on the show, because it's tough.
Yeah.
As always, I'm your host, Russ Santos, a.k.a. Lock and Robin. And with me, fellow Justin Cortez and
Hey.
Eser Valencia.
What's up, guys?
Justin, how's it going, man? You decided to stick around?
Just for a little bit longer, see my friends.
Nice. We're glad
Yeah.
to have you on the final episode.
Thank you very much.
And Eser Valencia, man, how's it going?
Good.
Nice. You just shot me.
Just gave you a gunshot.
Just shot me. Just shoot him again. Nice. Very nice.
Change it up for a little bit.
So before we jump into these acts or these performances, let's talk about let's have a blanket statement here. Well, first thing that we want to say is that if you're new to watching us, or if you're not new, don't take everything we say as the all forsaken truth.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
like as this is how it's supposed to be. We're not experts in anything.
Yeah.
I'm not even in our jobs.
Wow.
Don't.
Okay, then.
We may be good at it. Doesn't mean we're experts. No one can be a true
No,
expert
not
in
at all.
everything. So what we're trying to say is we have opinions. These are just our preferences and opinions based on our past experiences, and yeah, that's about it. Work ethic, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's aesthetic also. Like,
Really
we have our
is.
own personal aesthetics. Like,
Yeah, and then just general things that we like,
general things
things.
we like.
Generally things we like.
as just regular audience members. you know?
Exactly,
So that's that. So if you don't like what we have to say, that's fine.
Yeah.
Cool. The end. Anyway, so let's move into this episode. Before they got into each of these acts, they had their own special judges kind of performances here. Derek performed with both Charity and Andres and Michael Dubesky.
Michael
Dubesky. I
name-
forgot how good he is.
Michael Demetsky, but we call him Dubesky.
Dubesky.
Which was awesome. They're both from season 2. 2 of our favorite groups.
Yeah.
They both made it to the finals, so it was freaking awesome. I think
Yeah.
probably the best that I've seen in the series.
Whole show
Yeah.
ever.
Literally fire.
There was,
Good one. I give that a hundo.
yeah, I'd give it 100.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
sure.
man.
I know.
There wasn't anything wrong, I guess. But anyway, I didn't really judge it. Or
Yeah,
anything like that.
I was just watching it for the pure sake of entertainment,
Right.
It was awesome.
I was happy to see them come back.
Yeah.
And then Neo performed along with Ian Eastwood and Sean and Casey. Ian Eastwood from season 1, Sean and Casey from season 2. Neo just kind of sang and did his normal singer
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
He's still injured, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he has a
he's still
broken foot.
recovering. Yeah.
So he couldn't really do much there.
Fair.
But as for the dancers, they're way better than what they did,
Right.
in my opinion. Yeah, did you watch it?
No, we didn't get
Okay.
a chance to.
Yeah, you didn't miss much.
Yeah, okay.
No,
good.
they just seemed like it was just normal, like, oh, you're at a concert and they're the professional dancers,
Yeah.
like backing up
like
the
it's like
artist.
This is Neo's show, pretty
Yeah.
much.
But he kind of hung back just because, like, he wanted to give more shine on the dancers.
That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
good. That's good. I like that.
But yeah, it just wasn't their best.
Hmm.
Because they're awesome. We know how awesome they are.
We do.
And then the Lab came on and performed, winners from last season,
Mm-hmm.
and they did like a tribute to J-Lo. Yeah,
So everyone gets a little something.
a little something.
It was a
J-Lo
master-
didn't perform though, so
No, she didn't.
she can still dance too. So like,
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
why she didn't. But anyway,
It was a master mix of J-Lo stuff.
yeah, actually it was. And then we got through all that, and then we hopped into the actual performances. Only 5 this time, and only 1 per act. I think last season they did 2 per act, didn't they?
Yep, they got 2.
So I was surprised that they only did 1 each this time. I kind of liked how they did too last time because it gave them a chance. Like if they had a weaker one, they were able to kind of bring it back up or whatever. So that was a little disappointing right off the bat. But first up was Briar Nolet.
Yes.
Eser, what'd you think about her, man?
I was expecting a lot out of that stage prop thing that she had hanging in the back, so I was already like anticipating like what she did with her cube in her last round. Right. I was like, "Ooh, she's gonna do something serious." She went up, she came down, and yeah, she was dancing. She did everything that she needed to. I thoroughly enjoyed what she was exhibiting, but I still felt that her last round was better.
I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, I really was hoping that she would push the limit with that jungle gym she had. But
such a big structure.
It was a big structure for just like one little portion of what she was using. I did like the creativity she was pushing for. Just thought it could have been done better. But I do like the risk she was taking, especially. Like she always takes very good risks and just appropriately enough to, wow the audience, wow the judges as well. But yeah.
Nice. Justin.
Honestly, like like you said with the jungle gym, it was an incredible feat of strength what she did on it. So I got to give her that. But her whole performance as a whole left me wanting more. Like she's very strong. She's got tricks too. She's super intense. Her movement is always very full out. But there was just something that I felt. One, it felt short. I felt like maybe they cut that. And
I don't think they did.
You don't think so? All right. It just left me wanting more. Like, and it's the first time I'm ever going to say this. I felt like I agreed with J-Lo with what she said about intention. Like in the beginning, it's a little bit more clear what she wanted, and then towards the end, I wasn't really sure what she was going for.
That's true.
So
okay,
this is probably one of the only times I've ever actually agreed with what J-Lo said.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's tough. Before I talk about Briar, just kind of go off of what you thought that you felt like it was probably edited shorter. I think actually what I kind of enjoyed in this episode is that because there's only 5 acts, aside from those special ones, they were able to give their full performance of each performance.
I see.
And the critiques from the judges, because I think they cut a lot of what the judges say too. But in here you're able to hear them go back and forth, like go down the line, then come back down the line and whatever. So that was nice. But so for Briar, pretty much everything you guys said, you guys took everything I was going to say. What I was going to relate to with what Eser said about barely using that stage prop. It's kind of like when Pop and John was on and he had the chair. He got up and that was it for the chair.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping she'd do more, especially since she leans towards gymnastics and acrobatics. I thought she was gonna be spinning around that pole.
Yeah, me too.
Whatever. That would have been awesome.
I mean, you expect it because she usually utilizes, or I guess I'm just judging from last week. She uses her stages to full effect.
Yeah.
And what she did on it was
it was phenomenal.
So cool.
Right.
That hyper-extended split.
Past 180.
Yeah, sure.
That's hard already.
Man. Can't get to 180.
Can't even get there. 90, maybe.
Maybe, if I'm lucky. If I want to hurt. Yeah. I just, pretty much exactly what you guys said. It needed more, in my opinion. I don't think it was it definitely wasn't her best, in my opinion.
No, I don't think so.
I thought
either.
she needed to do more, especially for the $1 million, man. This is your last shot.
$1 million.
I gave her an 88. Justin?
I gave her a 90.
Eser?
I gave her a 91.
Okay. So relatively low here. She ended up with a 92.7, so decent but kind of low.
Especially at this stage of the conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right. Everything should be 95 and up, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to the next act, VPeepz.
Woo.
Yes, sir.
Justin, what'd you think?
All right. So from the motherland, they were super clean. Great stage presentation. I love what they did with the visuals in the back with the sea containers and everything to make it kind of look like they were on the docks or something like that. They showcased a little bit of locking, but to me it felt very filler. It was just such a quick thing, and if you're not familiar with locking, you probably would have just like kind of set it aside and been like, oh, it's just other movement. But yeah, they did they did some kind of locking stuff, and it was just like, it didn't look very good to me. It was clean, but it didn't look good. I agreed with Neo when he said that they needed a little bit more variety. Like, it was almost too much of the same thing. I did agree with him in that. And then I also agreed with J-Lo again that, and I actually really liked the statement she said, in response to the girl who said, do you think we could beat the Kings? She said, you're not going to out-trick them, but you can out-dance them. I respect that statement. And I'm surprised that it came from J-Lo.
Right.
I think that's what they needed to hear.
She's been pretty good this year.
Yeah, she has.
This season, I mean.
Wow.
It's really strange.
That's great.
It's been very rare that we've disagreed with her this season.
Man, that's hopeful.
She's been on it, yeah.
There you go. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have.
Cool. Eser.
Lots of things you said. But I don't know. I kind of enjoyed what they did with their locking bit there. It was clear, it was readable, but it just wasn't, like the kind of locking we're used to or the locking I'm used to. But it still was a nice little visit there, and just like, oh, hey there, what's up? As well as like, they did what they did. But yeah, I think they could have extended a little bit more as well. But they are very clean as usual.
And that's what I mean, is that I felt like it just felt transitional
okay.
to me. You know what I mean? Like, just like they threw it in there because, oh, we can do it.
Right.
Was there a purpose for putting it in there?
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know if it was the prop of the barrels that they were using or just like the overall set. It felt like it was hindering them using the stage to fully dance as best as they could, as we've seen before. I think it was just so much crowding, especially they're a large group of kids.
Sure.
So don't get me wrong, like I love the intricacies of their choreography and they were doing real good with it, but they felt very contained, like where they were.
Like containers.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Cool. That it?
Yeah, I'm good.
So I guess since we're all going to touch on the locking here, just in addition to what you guys said, I can see both sides of your opinions here. What I will say, I don't agree one way or another. Like, it was there for me. But what I will say is that they were smart when it came to locking. They were smart to keep it staccato and very like sharp and just not super fast movements, because it makes it cleaner, like you mentioned. But it also hides the inexperience that they have in terms of the fundamentals when it comes to locking. So I thought they did it pretty decently.
Okay.
There was a bit of whacking in there. And also a bit of step too. I was surprised that you didn't catch this. It was a hot minute, but like it was in there. It was right after the whacking. So I kind of overall I did appreciate the change of styles. But for some reason it still felt a little one note to me, and it's probably because of just the straight up beat killing that they just kept doing. Which probably goes along the same lines of what you said, which probably goes along the same lines of what Neo said. So I think that's about it. I ended up giving them a 90.
Wow, I gave them a 93.
Me too.
Nice. They ended up with a 93.7, so you guys were closer. Derek loved them with a 96.
He did.
And then J-Lo was closer to me with a 91. All right. That's it for VPeepz. Already beating... Well, we don't find out their scores until later.
Yeah.
But now we know that they're beating Briar. Next up, Unity LA. And I will jump the gun here with them. So right off the bat, I appreciated that they started focusing on other people besides Ashley and Zach to really showcase the talent of everyone on the team. And they are all super talented when it comes to what they do. I didn't think any one of them was lacking when it came to their time to shine.
Yeah.
Everyone was, on their game. Very artistic this time around. Artistic and not as abstract as some of their past performances. So it's good because it's more relatable for anyone watching. Also, I loved their use of the stage. They used the entire stage. They actually go to the very edges of it. And then when they actually do the formation changes and the transitions into different parts, they actually help guide your focus by drawing your attention one way while they set up the next.
That's a really good point.
And that's what I really loved about them. So I thought they did pretty good. I wouldn't say it's their best. I think their best was the last episode with that door.
That door.
That door, though.
Just the door was good.
Let's see.
Not even the dancer.
Justin, go ahead.
Yeah, man, I agree with everything you said. You pretty much took everything I wanted to say.
Nice.
They were so together. They were so expressive. That was one thing that I really want to give them is that there's no movement wasted in their performances. It kind of feels like they're just so full when they move. Like there's this one moment where one of the guys, he just looks like he's like rolling on the ground a little bit, but it's so full out, and I haven't seen someone move like that on the floor before, unless they were like a b-boy or something. The piece felt like almost like a painting, like they were painting their movements onto the stage, and you did mention them using the edge. They even broke past that. And
right.
With the petals and everything, the rose petals and everything. That was
like how.
Rose petals. It was a beautiful piece of artwork. I think that's what the judges said too, and I was like, wow, we are on it today. Yeah.
Eser.
For me, when they were just starting out, the first thing I was just recognizing is like, wow, they seem like they're statues at dark in a garden, in a very nice garden, you know. And then they just
I like that.
Yeah, they're alone, and then they just do what they want alone there.
Would they like come to life?
Yeah, they come to life. These are statues in the garden.
Night at the museum, night at the garden.
The sequel.
The secret night at the museum.
But
garden.
yeah, I mean, I was very engaged, and I really did love their expression of movement across the floor and just the use of that entire stage as well. I totally agree with that part. But yeah, I was very also entertained and just very engaged with just the duos here, the duos there, and the duos on the other side. You know,
Right.
It was great. Like I was just very happy to see everybody just have their time.
I gave them a 94. Sorry,
94. I gave them a 95.
Eser.
I gave them a 98.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you and Derek thought the same thing, and then we agreed. We're all pretty much spot on here. They ended up with a 95.7, so beating VPeepz and Briar already. Of course, we didn't know that until the end.
Yeah.
But next up to perform were the Kings.
Yep.
And before we jump into like talking about the Kings, before we get shot in the back or something,
Yikes.
first of all, so on our last episode, we got a bunch of comments.
Yeah.
A bunch of negative comments, I would call
Right.
them.
Lots of that.
Not so positive ones, at least.
Just a couple maybe defending how we felt about it.
Sure.
But
It was a lot of Let's just put it that way.
We did mention this in the beginning of this episode. First of all, our opinions are just opinions based on preferences that we've had and experiences that we've had growing up in the dance community and performing in the dance community. So it's not like we're totally inexperienced dancers here talking about just how we feel.
Yeah.
Of course, we're talking about how we feel. I mean, that's just what opinions are all about, right? And I do want to say that when it comes to art, and we've discussed this before on the show, when it comes to art, not everyone's opinion is going to be right or wrong. It's just how we interpret it ourselves.
yeah.
In fact, we didn't even really say anything really negative about the Kings last episode.
No, I don't think
just,
so.
Maybe they're too trick heavy, which it's not hard to see that they are just piling on tricks. Not that they're bad, because they're freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, they're actually amazing and super athletic. But I think, even J-Lo said it to the VPeepz. You're not going to out-trick them, but you can out-dance them. That right there already makes me feel a bit more validated in my opinion on their performance.
Right. And then Derek in this episode was like, I was expecting you guys to be heavier on the tricks. Or something
that
along
comment
those
as well.
Yeah. But you guys freaking outdid yourself, which they did.
Mm-hmm.
They
really did. They went above and beyond here today.
Yeah,
and they did, and they danced way more here too, while maintaining their tricks. So that's what we're saying when it comes to putting on a set, having that balance of dance to tricks.
Yep.
Because they just proved they can do it.
Yeah.
They added just the same amount of dance, Or no, the same amount of tricks, but with more dance.
Yeah, with more dancing. I mean, I guess also that's the thing here too. When we talk about these things, challenge us as well. You know, we're not right either. So
Sure.
or we are.
but I'm not saying
There's the arrogance. Again.
yeah. Okay.
Well, here's my. I think the one comment that really got people heated was fabricating an injury. I understand that. Maybe out of context, I should clarify that, or with a little bit more context. With these shows, they have a tendency to play up storylines, people's tragic pasts, things like that. I know this for sure because we have friends that have been on the show, and they usually want to know their story so that they can use that
and they exploit it.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
And that's all I was really saying is that they could have played it up because during the performance, it didn't look like he was injured.
And that might be even a like a very positive comment because
Yeah.
if he is injured and still put on that performance,
Then
major props to that.
yeah,
dude.
more power to him. You
So
know,
it's
like
like
he
it-
pulled it off.
It's really just how you're coming about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like that's in the past. That's last week's episode.
Yeah,
And-
it was.
And it's like when it came to the Crazy Eights and the Selectively Mute Girl, no one commented on when I said that, you know, they kept talking about it all the time.
Uh-huh.
They're exploiting her pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's watching the rest of our what we had to say.
Yeah.
What we say about the Kings is not just for them. We've said the same thing about other people performing too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like we hate the Kings either. We love them. They, I mean, you know, spoiler alert, they kind of won the show.
Yeah, they kinda, you know, just a little bit.
Aggressively won the show.
They destroyed the show.
Yeah.
Based on this performance alone, I wish that they. I mean, I'm just going off of what y'all have told me about their previous performances. I wish that they had this kind of energy the whole way through.
Yeah.
But I mean, the jump between last week and this week is astounding.
It was
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
And they have had the same energy. They have their energy is usually at 110% the whole time. So, you know, just we're going to do the Kings or this part of the show differently. We'll just say what they got already. I'm sure you guys already know because it's already late in the week. They won, but with a perfect 100 here.
Yeah.
Hundo.
This means that this performance is perfect. And I can buy that.
Yeah.
So if for those who disagreed with us last episode or even previous episodes, take this performance as your perfect performance. Do you think those past performances were just as good as this one?
No.
Right?
Challenge question.
Like it's. I mean, you can say it gets close, but you're gonna say no. I think, in my opinion, just because. I mean, the judges didn't give him 100 before. Well, two of them did, but one of them didn't.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're using this as your perfect basis, your basis of perfect, it's hard to say that the previous ones were. Not that they were bad, because I'm pretty sure they scored 90 above every time.
Yeah.
So it's like, anyway, it's just what we have to say. It's just our opinions. We're not right. We're not wrong. We're just here talking. Just don't listen if you don't like it. But thank you for the comments. Just try and be a little bit more civil, I think.
Yeah.
And then that way we can actually respond civilly as well. Because if you're just insulting, it's hard for someone to
Respond to
to
that.
respond
Right.
in general. But I love the enthusiasm of these
Exactly.
of these Kings fans.
They're very
Very-
they're very
Very
devoted.
passionate.
They love the Kings
Yeah.
They sure do.
with due respect. So let's jump into critiquing this this set. Who wants Eser? Why don't you take this one?
Well, of course, right off the bat, you know, you notice they're wearing their gladiator uniforms. So I'm like, oh, they were going in with this 300 theme right now. Yeah, I loved a lot of things about this set. You know, they had everything going on this time, and I was really happy to see that they really found their niche of just implementing tricks and dance all together, and it was just exactly what I wanted.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
like the transitions, excellent theatrics. You know, they had those moments of just like, ooh, we caught that. You know, like maybe comparable to an Endgame kind of way.
Don't spoil it.
Shh, no spoilers.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, great decisions all around. I was just very pleased how it was just put together and let the story unfold on stage. And yeah, I was having fun watching them.
Justin.
Okay. One of my comments says, "Oh, that was cool." I'm not sure what that was for.
Great.
But yeah, no, you talked about it. The costumes were great. Like they're in full like Roman garb and everything, or Greek. I'm not sure exactly what. It definitely had a 300 feel. Those slow motion movie fight sequences were like unreal.
Yeah,
that's something that really took their performance to a next level. And the way that they weaved their tricks into their choreography was so much better than what they did last week.
Yeah.
It was trick heavy definitely last week, but they had one guy land his flip into formation.
Yeah.
And
that was he just started dancing.
Insane.
That's the kind of thing that I look for when people do tricks. Are they well placed? Do they make sense for their set? I think every trick that they placed in their set made sense this time.
Right.
So I liked what they did with that. Let me see. I also enjoyed that they melded their own cultural movements into their performances as well. Like a lot of it was I'm not sure exactly what style, a Bollywood style or Bharatanatyam, but there was one moment where they put the shield behind one of the guys' heads and he was like mouthing some of the words.
Oh yeah.
And it made him kind of look like Shiva, the destroyer.
Oh,
so it's like kind of like their version of the god of war and
right.
things like that. Just without the arms and everything. But that was something that I love to see, like when they, when it's apparent that they're blending their own culture into the, into the performance itself. It's like, it's just there.
Absolutely. More power to them, just incorporating
so
culture.
All around, like they were just a different team than last week.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. You guys pretty much took everything I was going to say. These guys are this time around were very much theatrical. More theatrical than last episode. And they really committed to it. One thing that they're really good with is actually committing to whatever they want to do, whatever kind of theme or non-theme that they're doing. They're really good about committing to it. So that was nice. Because there was more dancing this time around, they actually created a lot of very nice visuals, dance-wise.
Yep.
So that was awesome. And then that slow motion thing that you guys talked about, the slow motion battle that they're doing, kind of reminded me of like Mortal Kombat, like
or like a fatality.
Fatality, or like the random throws where it just slows down and it's like really brutal.
Right.
Especially with the spear going through that one dude.
That was
that was crazy.
He like caught it.
Yeah, and he walked back.
Yeah, oh man, that was cool.
I really enjoyed when he kicked him with that shield, man.
Oh right.
Oh my gosh, what an effect that was.
One thing that I will say that they're always really good with doing is knowing how to create a very good ending. Each performance, their ending is never their weakest part. They know how to have an ending and really put an exclamation point at the end of their performance. So this one is no different. They even one-upped it by flipping from like 10 feet high onto a dude, like over a dude. You know how dangerous that is. Like if either one of you second guesses it, both of you will probably get hurt.
Yeah.
So that was major props to them when it comes to that. Major
props.
One there were a couple things I thought that could have made it a little better. I thought because they had more dancing, I thought they could have done better transitions and formation changes.
Okay, yeah.
Because overall it's pretty much just the standard. We're standing in the front, looking at the audience, doing the choreography until the next part. So they probably could have done a little bit more with there, especially with the formation changes. But that's probably because they had to hide the trick setup, so they probably didn't have a choice there. But if they could have found something or find some like more creative way to kind of have these formations and different formations for that matter, it would have been better in my opinion.
Yeah.
Anything else that you guys want to say here?
No,
nothing else.
I'm set.
I mean, I feel like satisfied with that performance. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like it's an actual ending to this season.
Yeah.
Like it gave that kind of statement and that kind of impression on me.
Right on.
They left it all on the floor.
Did they get it back later?
I don't know.
Well, I gave them a 95 overall.
Okay, I gave them a 98.
I gave them a 98 as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
And like we said, they got 100. So
Hundo.
we don't know, or we didn't know at the time, but they're gonna win.
It's hard to be perfect.
It's hard when you're perfect.
That's S rank right there, man.
Oof.
Mm.
All right, moving on to the last act of the night. Ellie and Ava. Justin, why don't you start this one?
They were so beautiful. Like this performance was. That's like the best word to use it. And what I'll say about the two of them, their control is unmatched in this competition in terms of like how much control they have over their bodies. Like I said, the performance was beautiful. They almost seem like they are stronger dancers together. Like they're both individually very strong, but because they're sisters and because they're doing these duets together, something about dancing with each other is bringing out a better dancer in each of them. So I that's something that's really beautiful. And I just want to comment on like one particular moment. They did some turns in second, which is like where they had their leg out, and usually they're coming up and down from their releve and everything to keep their momentum up. But they tilted their second turns, and it looked like almost like an ellipses kind of thing.
I see what you're saying.
And it was, I have never seen that move before. Anyone do that before, turns like that. And you know me, I love turns. I do. That's the kind of thing that I love seeing in these types of competitions, is someone showing us something new.
Yeah.
You know, like that. I loved their performance. They were beautiful.
Nice. Small correction for me. I actually gave the Kings a 97. I was just reading it wrong. I was like, because I sat back, I was like 95. I'm pretty sure I gave them a 96 last episode.
It's like, those darn fives looks like sevens all the time.
It's because I put them in parentheses, and I don't know, maybe I'm going cross-eyed. Anyway.
Oh, well.
Ellie and Ava.
Ellie and Ava.
I agree 100% with everything you said, although I didn't catch the ellipse thing, so that's pretty cool that you noticed that. One thing I'm always like fascinated with them about is their synchronicity with each other. Not in terms of just cleanliness and just, you know, dancing at the same time, looking like the same person, but, you know, with their chemistry, that synchronicity, because I feel like they know exactly where the other one is all the time, and where the other person's body parts are going at any moment, so that if they have to step on them at one point, they don't even have to look. They just know like exactly where they are, right?
That's trust.
Yeah. And Russ?
Russ. And also the difficulty in their movement adds to that effect,
right.
Because like to be together the way that they are with the degree of movement that they're doing, pardon me, is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Right on. And then you took everything else I was going to say. Eser, anything for you?
I literally felt like I was watching a snippet of Fantasia when I was seeing these two girls just do their thing.
Is it the thingy?
The backdrop?
Yeah, whatever that is. The beads.
The beads? You mean the drapes?
Yeah, something.
No, yeah, perhaps it was, but at the same time, like just the way they were gliding across the floor for me, like that's just what it brought it back to. You know, you're just watching these two girls, and then that's just what it was reminiscent of, and they pulled it off. They really did. Like just how graceful and elegant they were on that stage.
I feel like that's like the best comparison you could ever come up with for that performance.
Yeah,
Fantasia is like. That's perfect.
That's up there, you know, and Disney don't mess around with their animation either. So
they don't. No, they don't.
Yeah, and you guys took a lot of things I wanted to say. So I guess the last thing I'll just put out there is like their personalities. Like that's something you can't take away, and it showed on this performance, and it was just very much 100% both of them just being as they are right there at that moment. And I loved it.
Nice. One thing I forgot to mention is that, and it's a critique, is that I felt like the ending could have been better.
Yeah.
It kind of just drifted off into nothingness.
Yeah,
like, and I think they hugged each other or something like that or whatever.
Oh, sure, yeah. It was no King's ending, right?
No, it wasn't. And
Yeah.
and it wasn't a Unity LA ending.
Mhm.
Right.
Like, just because they're contemporary doesn't mean you can't have a powerful ending. For some reason, it just didn't resonate with me to be like, wow, that entire set was great. I don't know, I just needed something more. It wasn't, that's it. The end. Anyway, I ended up giving them a 93.
I gave them a 95.
I gave them a 97.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
They actually got a 95. So, not winning.
Jeez.
So at the end of the day, at the end of the night, the Kings won. So
Yeah.
congrats to them.
Killed the curve.
Yeah, she really did.
Thanks.
And they're like only the second group or act to ever get 100 on the show.
Yeah.
Before it was Charity and Andres, and they didn't even win the show.
Yeah.
So that's a difficult thing to do, I think, especially with these judges. It's hard to get them all on the same page. So they are able to do it. Anything about the show that you guys want to talk about?
I think you mentioned this to me. They got confetti this year.
You're right. Yeah, the ending this year was better. It was
Credits.
confetti came down. The judges went on to like hug them and give them daps and whatever.
Yeah.
And
Not like last season.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, and the winner is the lab. Thank you all for watching, and roll the credits.
Roll the credits.
Nothing like, wow, they don't get anything.
They need even to bring out like the big paper check and give it to
Right,
them.
man, they needed something. At least they got confetti this time around. It felt more of an ending.
I know.
So cool.
I remember when we watched.
We watched it together, right?
Yeah, we
watched it
did.
together. We were like, That's it. There's nothing after that. Just 18 weeks of this.
Season 2.
Was it 18 weeks?
It was close because
it
14,
felt like a
14
long
weeks was qualifiers.
And then they even had a break, I think.
Yeah.
Too.
They did. I
Sheesh.
was like,
That was
a
insane.
break for what?
I don't know when season 4 is coming around, but anyway.
But they are casting people now.
Are they?
Yeah, there was a website on the end of the episode advertising.
Gotcha.
Wow.
It's like, hey, bring your crews in. We're gonna have another season.
They're running out of people to get on the show.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you have people like Zach and Ashley that
Come back
with like a team
True.
or something, they'll probably maybe someone will come back.
Even from this season,
and
you know?
what was her name? Eva
Igo.
Yeah, she came back last season.
She even showed up at one of the performances, one of the shows this season.
Oh wow.
She just went to go say hi to the judges.
Aww,
Yeah.
And I was like,
cute.
what are you even doing here?
I wish. Oh man, this is one of those times I think last season where I was like, oh, they probably just brought her on for the drama of it all. They were never gonna let her win.
Just no way. She's awesome, man. I've seen a lot of her videos still.
Yeah,
She's
but I feel like she
it.
tried to coast during last season.
Oh, I think so.
You know what I mean? Because like the two that beat her, it was like a ballet couple.
Right. Yeah.
Would I think in their wildest dreams never thought that they would beat Eva Igo.
Right.
And they ended up doing it because I think
Mhm.
Eva's performance was a little less than she should have done. So,
True.
But that's season 2.
Yeah. And And season 3 is over. Anything for you, Eser?
And that's it.
Nice. So for those watching and listening to our podcast and have been listening and watching World of Dance, thank you for doing so and joining us on this endeavor. This isn't the end of the session. We try to have new episodes weekly or at least every other week to talk about dance videos out there or other things dance related that we can just critique. Someone even left a comment from the last episode asking us to review one of a different performance. So we'll probably do that next week. And if you guys have anything you want to share with us, go ahead and just leave it in the comment. Reach out to us with links or anything that you want us to review, whatever you want us to talk about on the show. Mm-hmm. And we'll probably do it because we might not have anything to talk about. And it makes our job easier if you guys give us what you want us to talk about.
Yeah, it makes you happy.
Makes us happy. We all win. Justin, I'm glad you stuck around for this. Thank you for stopping by before you go back to LA.
Thank you for having me again. Really appreciate seeing you guys.
Of course, anytime. You're welcome here anytime. Where can people find you, man?
You can find me on Instagram again.
Yay.
Brought it back.
Yay.
And Twitter at WonderFell88. That's fell with one L.
Nice.
All right, then.
And Eser, where can people find you, man?
You guys can find me on Instagram at ValCirca and on Facebook.
Nice.
Nice.
Single. He is single.
And as always, I'm Russ Santos, a.k.a. Lock and Robin. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, and all the good stuff at Lock and Robin. And that's about it. So for anyone listening, if you guys like what you hear, or I guess don't like what you hear, go ahead and leave a comment. Again, just trying to be civil. Realize that we are people too.
That's
right though?
Yeah. Not wrong there.
Leave a comment, subscribe, do whatever you want to do with DanceFam TV. Especially on YouTube, subscribe. If you want to take us on the road or just want to listen to us on your commute, wherever, you can find us on the podcast, Spotify, iTunes, and Google. You can find links all in the description. What else? You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, all the good stuff at DanceFam TV. And go to our website and check out other stuff at dancefam.tv and look at all the goodies on there.
goodies.
All the goodies. But anyway, make sure you do all that because it's good stuff. And if you happen to add us or want us to see something, go ahead and hashtag the session and add us at DanceFam TV. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
Peace.